My heart gets what's now.
I'm Mike Howl. I'm the writer of the play, the director, and act in occasional various parts as we go along. When you talk about my accomplishments, it's very much the team's accomplishments, because I'm fortunate to have a very good, talented group of actors who've worked very hard to get us to this point. Particularly moving from one show to the next is that I always ask the actors for their input, rather than giving them a script and say learn the lines and go away. I think this is the way that you get the best out of your actors. So there's been quite a lot of, although there's scripted work obviously, there's quite a lot of devised work which the actors themselves have worked on. And that's from the second show, from the first, and now as we go to Edinburgh, we're redevising and reinventing the whole play. I don't think we've actually condensed it down. I think the time scale is about the same, but there are one or two things that were in it that didn't work as well as the rest of it. And I think that's where you have to be a bit surgical about it and cut things out. Even if you've written something that you think is going to be good, if it doesn't actually work on stage, it has to go. So there are a couple of scenes from the first two plays which I've cut out, and they are being replaced by new, vastly more exciting scenes. It's an amazing experience to be there, to perform there, because there are performers from all over the world, literally hundreds of shows at dozens and dozens of different venues. But it's the kind of thing that's an actor's dream come true, or any performers, whether it's dance or music or acting or comedy. It's a dream come true. And I think the adrenaline flows as soon as you walk onto High Street, and you've got lots of street theatre going on, you've got buskers, you've got magicians, all kinds of fantastically entertaining things happening at the same time. The space inside in the theatre that we're working at is it's a 150-seater theatre, and it's a much smaller space than we've worked in previously, especially the last venue, which was the Capstone, which is a fabulous theatre, but it's a large space to work in. This is much smaller, and so we're not having the what you would call traditional going on and coming off of actors. All the actors are going to be on the stage at the same time. The ones that are not in the scenes won't be lit. Everyone will be wearing black with maybe one prop or one piece of costume to avoid costume changes. So it's going to be very, for want of a better word, very fringy. Yeah? And we want it to flow, and we want it to be pacey, and we want to keep the audience attention all the while. And this space that we're working in, if we reinvent the play in the way that we are doing, it will be perfect, because we're going from completely naturalistic theatre to different styles of theatre, maybe some Brechtian theatre and different forms of stylising, which suit itself to that venue. Well, we hope it'll be moving on around the country. One of the ideas, or one of the bits of thought behind going to Edinburgh is obviously all of the theatres in the country have a representative at the Edinburgh Fringe, and we hope very much that somebody or a few people will like it and take it to it and want us to perform it in their theatre. So that's ultimately what we'd like to happen, that we can tour our play. Yeah. At the Fringe itself, we'll be performing, we arrive on Saturday the 13th. We have our technical on Monday the 15th, and our first show is on the 16th. Then we do the 17th, the 18th, the 19th and the 20th. That's 5 at the space, the symposium space. And if people want to come, they can find us on Ed Fringe by putting the symposium space in there. Those are lunchtime performances, begin at 20 to 12 and will end at 10 to 1. And in addition to that, we're doing 3 lots of street theatre on the stage in the High Street, which will be later in the afternoon. And we're hoping very much to do some stand-up comedy in the pubs and clubs at the so-called free events, which will help to publicise the show and sell tickets. So we're going to be very busy indeed. We're going to work hard, but we're going to play hard as well. I know that the entire cast is completely teetotal, which is means obviously there'll be no alcohol. I have got that right, haven't I?
Probably.
Yeah, I probably so. Yeah. So I think we'll probably just be drinking lots of water in between times.
Mike Howl, thank you very much.
You're welcome.